The next day, the Defense Department was dismantled. Continue with the next round of correction activities. Now I can barely spend the night, but the safety factor is far from up to standard. It's even worse in terms of keeping warm and cold. All four walls are refilled.
The brothers are building their own secret base in the wilderness. The thick-rooted logs are too laborious to carry. This was originally the site of an abandoned wooden house. The brothers are going to renovate them. There's not a lot of wood left. Measurement must also be replaced.
In order to protect against extreme weather in the mountains in advance, brothers on the roof lay out an oversized tarp. The edges and corners are all wrapped up. There are 2 solid wood beds simply placed inside. You can safely spend the night tonight. Sure enough, the strength of the team is even stronger. This is the most dangerous primeval forest. Hiding here naturally has their purpose. Delicious game is one of them. Both brothers are warriors who survive by hunting. Living away from modern civilization is not easy. Old irons remember to like and follow Ibu. The next day, the Defense Department was dismantled. Continue with the next round of correction activities. Now I can barely spend the night, but the safety factor is far from up to standard. It's even worse in terms of keeping warm and cold. All 4 walls are refilled. Previous layer of new logs, sturdy wood. Even with the strength of 2 people, it's also hard to drag it. I gradually found the feeling today. Work efficiency has been significantly enhanced. The roof doesn't need very thick wood, because later, you also need to fix it all with a rain cloth. Tie it tightly around with big iron nails. Although the height is too small, there is basically no way to finish the wooden house. Stand up straight. The stream next to it is your own big bathhouse. The guy was covered in stinky sweat and threw it directly into it. Let's try a few squat rings. Simple and rude. Even the master's hat was directly above his head. The title of the wilderness man really lives up to its reputation. The living water in the stream here is clearer and cleaner. It can be used specifically to make tea. A solid earth is its own table, chair and bench. The roof is covered with a layer of dry leaves and turf as an anti-counterfeiting decoration, successfully integrated with the surrounding environment. In the most primitive and simple way, cut a lot of planks, lay directly on the ground. The uneven areas are filled with soil. As long as there is no rain seeping in the wooden house, it can be used for a long time. The only thing that has not been replaced is the front door frame. Don't look at the guy who is big and 3 thick. It's very careful. All the walls, his body was actually clipped open by a layer of wooden boards. It's filled with sawdust, act as thermal insulation cotton. The beds have to be rebuilt. The bottom support clip is more stable, all with self-cut flat planks. It's much more comfortable than before. The wooden table next to it can also be folded. Maximum space savings. The first round of snowfall in the mountains has quietly arrived. The heating stove must not be used less. The guy specially got some bricks, manually build a new stone stove. The gaps next to it are all filled with mud, although it seems that the process of anti-revision is not complicated, but there was no support from my brother in the later stage. Boy alone, nature slows down the progress of the project. Just in time for the first cold island of the wooden house, the entrance and exit gates are also installed properly. Now sleeping in a wooden house is more secure. With a safe, secluded home, everything else will come naturally. Restricted by the height of the wooden house, most of the activities still have to take place outside the house. False life, there is no problem at all.